How you doing, lovely people? And in this beautiful video, I want to talk about a very beautiful emotion, a very sweet emotion, and that is love. Love you feel for a woman when you fall in love, for your girlfriend, or for not your girlfriend, or for your wife, or for someone else's wife. But quite likely for a girl you've been dating, you've been seeing, you fall in love with her, and you experience that depth, and then that grows into something beautiful. How to avoid volatility or increase volatility in that time, how to avoid your life going to hell with that, how to avoid all the dangerous side effects that unfortunately come with that. You see, it's very tricky, but I think it needs to be mentioned, this topic, because I talk a, I talk a lot about dating psychology and some of the stuff that's very uncomfortable, as I would say, unconscious shadow, the collective unconscious shadow in society, and how it manifests individually and how it manifests as the dark side of femininity, right? The dark side of femininity and dark side of female sexuality, how it affects us men, how it affects us sensitive men, the men that fall in love and head over heels over a girl, and how to deal with that. And so, you know, as I go deeper into that topic, I want to really share the human side of me. Right? I don't want to just be there talking negatively about women and how they're bad and all that, because some of that stuff is going to sound like women bashing, right? That's just the reality. And so I don't want to completely dehumanize myself here and come across as really bad. And I'll share some of the reality in my life and how I see love. And so I've been in love. I've been really in love, I would say 3 times. Like, I allowed it to go for a bit longer, let's say. 3 times, I say for a bit longer, as in a couple of days. I was properly in 2 long-term relationships. One of them I was head over heels crazy in love, and another one I kind of got more in love as the relationship went on, and I think it became like some sort of different type of love. It wasn't like head over heels love, but it was definitely inherently painful to break up with that girl. And so I have some experience with that, in addition to just sleeping with a lot of women. And I had a period of my life where I would fall in love with girls very frequently, but it was very fast thing, but it was quite powerful. After I've been living in an ashram for 3 months, my system has definitely had a very good dopamine detox. Plus, I've probably been celibate at that point for about 9 or 10 months. So when I got to Bali, which has a lot of beautiful women and sweet women, and they're open to spirituality quite often. So I would fall in love every 3 4 days through about 5 6 girls. I don't remember them now, but I would I would take one girl's number or Telegram or WhatsApp, whatever, every 3 4 days. I wasn't like on it kind of thing. I was after an ashram, right? Living in India with monks, I was bold, and I would be thinking about her. So I would notice I'm like falling for her. So that's what it does. When you don't sleep around too much, when you don't use phone a lot, when you don't watch porn, when you're celibate, you fall in love a lot faster. So that's very important to note. But back to beginning. Let's say I would talk about my strongest falling in love experience briefly, just on the surface, kind of just to quickly create a context for that. So I was 24, and we were with my friend, we were hanging out a lot, we were going out a lot, we would be pulling girls and sleeping around and whatnot. And he was a good wingman, definitely, and I was a good wingman for him. I helped him to get laid, he helped me to get laid, and all that. We were good. And he really had an eye for a girl for me, and he was like, you have to sleep with her. So he had some sort of accent, and so he kind of helped to seduce her in a way where he would really pump my player status in front of her. He would show her pictures of girls I slept with, and some were real, and so there were actual pictures of me like sleeping with girls in whatever scenarios. There's a picture of me like sleeping with a girl in an office or whatever, or maybe not. Maybe it's AI. So there were AI pictures of me doing lots of stuff, and he would show them, and then he would also make things up and talk about girls that I didn't sleep with. So he added a few points, as a good wingman does. And so I don't know if that really created a good foundation, but it definitely helped her to feel attracted. But I think she was attracted initially anyway. Maybe even made it worse, but definitely didn't ruin it. And so there was like a spark, and I tried to sleep with her initially quite fast, like on the same day, and then on this no, not on the same day, but on the second time we met, and for whatever reason I didn't feel like pushing through too much. And then it probably was like 2 to 3 months until we actually slept. So we knew each other for a bit, and we were kind of friends, sort of. I mean, she was attracted to me in some way. I was definitely like physically attracted to her, but not to her personality so much. And then I think once she fell in love with me, started feeling more for me and really kind of decided to go all in. Her personality became super sweet, super sweet. She became so sweet that it was like a long time, I think, that the girl was so sweet to me, because I was just like sleeping with girls, like banging chicks, like let's say rudely banging hoes. And so I'm kind of like jaded already. I'm like, these hoes, like tired of them. I'm like a complete like asshole to girls. I call them names, I bully them, and it works, and they want to sleep with me more because of that. So it's been like kind of like that for a while. There's a kid next to me. Okay, go away, kid. It's adult talk here. Come on. I'm on an adult bench, right? Anyway, so it was working, and then like suddenly she's very, very beautiful, kind of like a Playboy model, Pamela Anderson type, blonde bombshell, and that made me like she was so sweet to me. She definitely like used all the right tricks, including like bringing breakfast to bed after we had sex and massaging me, and then we sang together. And you know what? I always wanted to sing, I realized, but I was so scared. And around that time, I was doing like a lot of plant medicine ceremonies, so I started singing a bit, and I felt like I started seeing the potential in my voice. Like occasionally I would hit a note so well, I would be like, wow, I can do that. And so as I started singing more, I see more of that, but it's not consistent. So I'm very emotional about it. And then she helped me to sing because she's a good singer. So not only like was she good, but there was like another interest, that's something I was passionate about, singing, kind of got involved in that. And so we were like, drunk and high and whatever, singing songs, and that was like the most beautiful experience at that time. And then we also like have feelings for each other, so that's all amplified. It's music and substances and love and all that, and it just created such wonderful vortex of emotion. And I don't know if I sound like a complete simp right now to anyone. Actually, honestly, I don't give a fuck, and I'm the one who called people simps as well, so we're all full of shit. But I was in such beautiful vortex of emotion that I completely fell head over heels for her. I broke all the rules that I've established, how to be with girls. I was resisting falling in love with her because I was afraid of what's going to happen. I was feeling like my stone cold heart, ice heart, is melting over time, slowly for her. And then she would do things that were already a bit red flaggish, we can say initially, but the feeling was so strong. It's almost like I couldn't do anything about it. And I don't know how much she was lying or manipulating, but she was saying the right things to make me feel like she's in the same kind of situation. And she definitely demonstrated love through simple things. If you want to make happy, massage him, feet massage him, serve him. If you want to make a woman fall in love with you, once she's hooked, serve her like a goddess. If you want to have a man fall in love with you, serve him like a god, right? Unless, like, if he hasn't been served like that before. So, she hasn't, I wasn't, I mean, she definitely didn't have good sex for a while, so whatever I was doing was really hooking her, like rough and all, whatever, like the stuff I'm not gonna talk about in a love video, but I can probably make one in my private channel of all the stuff I would do in the bed. And it's important for women. Sex is very important for women. They might not admit that, but once they get very, very good sex, they're ready to do a lot for it. And so she did. And so there were other qualities she liked about me. I was like a good boyfriend potential, and there was other qualities I liked about her. As I said, music, common interest. We both like acting. We both wanted to go to Los Angeles to become actors and famous musicians and whatnot. So there was like a lot of like dream aligning there. It was really, I don't think I ever had anything like that, because like we were both dreamers and we dreamt in the same direction. We both like rock music and singing, and Los Angeles was like there. And so yeah, it was beautiful. Honestly, it was like you know, as much as shit we went through in a 3-year long relationship, as much as I've hurt her, she hurt me, like, it was so beautiful. It was insane. And I think I was like, oh my God, I never felt such love in my life before. So even talking about it, I'm feeling it. It's like, it is such a beautiful thing, love. I think people really need to experience. And I really wish people experience love. And me saying that, like, I know it's going to fuck up their lives as well. And fuck up their dreams a lot. So it's a weird one, but it was beautiful. And I think it was like maybe one of the times or the only time in my life where for about 6 months or so throughout that relationship, I actually genuinely didn't look at other women interested, you know, because she was very beautiful, sexually was very good, emotionally was very good. Our dreams and goals were aligned. We could actually daydream together and paint visions for each other, and we both wanted them. So there was a lot of like a lot of alignment on a lot of levels beyond physicality, right? Other relationships I had, women just would be quiet and listen to me, but we both love spirituality as well. Actually, funny enough, not forgetting that, meditation and Buddhism and whatever else. So we all liked all of that stuff. So, um, or she just pretended to like it to seduce me. Okay. Well, anyway, I was seduced really well. It's like allowing a cocaine or a drink or a spliff to make you high. It is the best high ever, to be honest. It lasts a very long time. But the come down is a bitch, but it's a better drug than drugs. And so it was like 6 months or so. I didn't want to speak to other women. I didn't want to like flirt with other women. I didn't want to sleep with other women. It was a good time until we started arguing and stuff like that, which kind of happens. And then the problem with these arguments is they were very volatile, and I would get really angry. She would say stuff that would really hurt me, and I was quite insecure. I think one of the ways she seduced me really well to fall in love with her, not sexually she seduced me with her looks, but to fall in love with her is different. She seduced me with saying all the right things to cater to my insecurity. I was insecure about my looks, insecure about how I come across, insecure about my social status, insecure about my ability and this and that, like of like ability to be a man or whatever, So she would really play well on this and make me feel like more of a man, make me feel very good looking, make me feel very high status. And so it added to that, plus she'd help me learn singing, right, and all of that. So it worked really well. But then the fights started happening. We weren't doing the right thing. Unfortunately, what a woman does is she seduces you into other things, other negative things as well. If it's an average woman, and that was a club girl, like an ex-socialite girl. So, she knew a lot of good parties and all that. So, not the best girlfriend to get, I would say. And so, I wanted to stay clean and I wanted to stay off drugs and off alcohol and parties, but we would go out and get high, and then on a calm down day, like the second day after or whatever, we would start arguing, and together with like dopamine and a hormonal depletion, we would start arguing on top of that, and she would just be completely obnoxious, completely delusional, and there would be no fucking ground to stand. And I was like a little idiot, like a dog, like a puppy, needing her love. And that moment, especially when I'm low on dopamine and low on serotonin and on a come down, because I'm so used to that. Because before, when I would be partying a lot and I would have come downs, I would just sit at the beach, look at waves, and think, why am I not happy being on the beach? Why am I not happy being on this beautiful beach, right? That's something I would say. And so, but now instead, it was like, oh, baby, you're making me very sad. So it was crazy how it worked and how it happened for us, but it's the reality. And so, as it's getting dark, we need more light. So arguments would go crazy and out of hand, and so this started really ramping up in intensity. And so a lot of weird shit happened between us, and we split and we got back together, and then we split again and get back together, and it was this kind of like back and forth for some time, maybe total. Just trying to like get actually really accurate on it. I in my head it's a 3 year long relationship, but is it actually under 2 years? Am I tripping? Uh, we got together in 2017, we broke up in 2020. Well, that can't be then. Am I missing a summer? It was such a volatile, full of whew, relationship, but if I missed a year somewhere, let me know. If it's 2017, 2018, oh yeah, 2018, and then 2019. Oh yeah, I missed the summer right there. Okay, because one was very intense, and then yeah, it is almost 3 years long relationship. So 2017 to 2020, and there was just one summer that was very boring. We didn't really do much. What was I doing? That's very interesting. I was doing something else, and so anyway, so that was that. And so I was hypnotized. I was in the vortex of love. All these songs that I used to call girly or even gay would make sense about like I'm feeling electricity in my body, la la la. All that kind of stuff would really make sense. And so what it was is such a strong drug, love. It's such a strong hook that it really f's your life up. And it's almost kind of like you want people to experience the beauty, but all the weirdness that comes after it. And the weirdness comes because we're not really mature enough as humanity and as society, really, as all of humankind, to deal with that stuff. And so that's why we do lots of weird shit. We don't know how to handle our animal nature, so we cheat or misbehave in some way, or some level of cheating. We don't know how to communicate well. We don't know how to handle our emotions, so we argue, and then that spirals out of order completely. We don't know how to deal with ourselves as a humanity, and we try to deal with each other, and we do it in the worst ways possible. And so I see that a lot of people are going through this kind of stuff. And so me talking about the good side of it, I really do believe that love is some of the best things ever. But I really think, and I want to say that even me, I don't really know how to deal with it. I don't really know how to deal with it. There is loss of control. There is loss of power. There is loss of consciousness, almost like you fall into something, falling in love. It's almost like a trap. It's beautiful, but you're like a confused fool. And then when reality comes, it strikes you really badly. And the perfect conditions for love are you two just being together. It's like this insecure teenager that just needs that reassurance that she will never leave you. And the same for both of you. You will never leave her. You will never cheat, never look at other people. You will only love her, and she will only love you. Then it creates like a perfect conditions for love. Unfortunately, most people are not able to keep that. And even just the fact that a lot of mature people, especially, and have the past and ex-boyfriends and all of that shit, that really ruins the potential for love. And that sucks so much. That sucks so badly, man, because they're not able to love. They're not able to give up the past and love each other properly, fully, And I'm not saying like I have achieved that. I'm like in the same trap as all of you. So I'm not pointing a finger. I'm really saying like we all, and me seeing myself in that situation. I know that you guys are as well. That's the truth. I know that you are as well. You are trapped in that bullshit, and you are not like ready to love maturely and properly unless you're able to accept the person fully. Somehow, weirdly, that goes against a lot of the mainstream red pill advice, which is designed to keep you safe, keep you protected, keep you from losing half of your shit to a divorce and all of that, which works really well. But when you fall in love with a woman, you kind of just want to give her everything. You want to serve her as a goddess and do everything that she needs. And that's such a beautiful way to be. That's such a beautiful devotion and surrender that you can experience. It is truly elevating your life to a whole different level. It is a magical experience. And if you can get that, you can sustain that, you'll probably have won in terms of marriage life, in terms of a life of somebody who gets a wife and children and family. Like that is a win of a marriage life if you both just serve each other fully. How to do that though? That's what I don't know. Like I know how it should look like, but how to actually get it in the real world? Should you just keep believing in real love? Should you believe it's there? The way most people fall in love is also like is they like each other, then they have a lot of sex, and then that bonds them to each other. And they don't actually truly love the other person, but they have bonded so much through sex because sex creates bondage. Sex creates one of the strongest bondages. So if you, even if you had a hookup out of convenience and then you keep hooking up out of convenience, you can eventually fall in love with that person because it makes you like family. The more you have sex, it makes you like family. The more emotional and close and beautiful the orgasm, especially that she has, she'll feel like family for you. And then of course you don't want your family to cheat on you and all of that, so it's gonna hurt a lot. So it's like growing your roots into the other person and then ripping them out. It's crazy. This is why a lot of ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends are so vicious to their boyfriends, to their husbands. They want to kill them, they want to murder them, they want to destroy them, they want to make them suicidal, they want to destroy their life, destroy their reputation, you know, put them in prison and all of that stuff, because those guys have grown their roots into these women and then pull them out, and it's so painful. It's such a painful experience. It's like your heart is being ripped out of your body. It's like you're being shot with a shotgun right in the chest, and it hurts, and it doesn't stop hurting because you don't die, you're alive, and you're feeling that even more and more and more. And so this experience is so crazy. That's why in like Indian, like Hindu religious culture, they say don't divorce. You'll fuck it up. Like make it work. Make it work. You know, don't divorce. It's like the worst thing you can do for yourself is divorce, because you're gonna create so much pain for both of you. Most people cannot deal with that pain. That's the reality. They end up being so traumatized and harmed that they live their life to the rest of their life just trying to cope with the damage that they've done by breaking up. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, divorce, all of that shit, you know? All that damage and trauma piled up is impossible to heal for most people, because it's just intense volatility, suicide level volatility for a lot of people, you know, especially men. Women have a bit of a better survival instinct here because they're critical for society to reproduce, while men can go, you know, just biological reality, something again you have to understand, even to understand how these things work. So I'm both in awe and amazement from love, and in that beautiful twisty vortex of sparkles and butterflies and unicorns. And I'm in a bit of a like, fuck, a bit of a confused, disappointed, slightly sad mood about it, because I don't know how to get out of it. And so you going on this journey of dating and getting a girlfriend, this is one of the bigger things that are waiting for you. And honestly, most people I've seen in the world, they don't recover from their heartache. It's still there. They're traumatized to the deepest core. And if you fall in love, statistically speaking, you also will be. And I don't want that for you. Because although I want you to experience all the beauty, I would never wish all the pain, because the pain of a heartbreak is worse than actually losing a loved one to death. Because the reality is not just that the person dies. When a girl stops loving you, she doesn't just go neutral, she starts hating you. So the person who loved you disappears because she's not there. Your loving girlfriend isn't there anymore. She disappeared. So there's pain of grieving. Even worse, she's not dead. She rose up from the ashes as an evil zombie trying to hurt you. She fucks up your bank account, she fucks up your credit score, she fucks up your political status, she tries to get your, I don't know, if she can damage your residential status, your reputation, she talks shit to your friends. She might be trying to abuse you for years after. You know, she might try to fuck up your business. Still going. Right? So it's not just she's dead, but so there's loss of that. Then there's also the person you love is damaging you, right? So there's two of these pains. And then I think there was one more. I can't remember somebody discussing that kind of topically, but there's even these two. So it's way worse than like losing a loved one, and then you still see them somewhere, and you might, and then you're gonna be jealous that they're like with someone else. Someone else is touching them. Someone else is kissing them. Someone else is hugging them. Someone else is fucking them, giving them what you were giving them before, and she's giving what you were giving before to someone else, and it's heartaching, it's excruciating, it's insane. And sleeping with a shitload of chicks afterwards doesn't really help it. It doesn't solve it. If anything, it makes you a bit more fucked up. because the girl feels that it's not full when you're with her, when you sleep with her, when you're after a breakup. She still wants it, she gets physical pleasure from it, but the emotions are weird. And it feels so shit. You feel so cheap sometimes about yourself. You feel like a piece of shit. That you should just lock yourself up and cry at home until you completely get rid of that pain, but you don't. And so you continue. And so we have this generation of people who are insanely damaged from their past heartbreaks. They don't know how to get out of it. And I would really urge you, getting into dating life, to try to stay out of it. Don't fall in love. Don't have sex. Don't do any of this shit. Don't torture yourself. Don't set yourself up for insane pain. You know, really try to understand before you go into it, what are you getting into, and how can you make sure that it's the most pain-free experience, that the person you're getting to fall in love with is the person that you can remain friends after you break up, you know? Is somebody who you could also be friends with. Is somebody who's not gonna try to fuck up your life. Is somebody who you're not gonna hate, you know? Try to understand who are you as well. Unless you're in a remote village and you're getting a arranged marriage, which is amazing, and still doesn't work out for a lot of people, but if you have to choose your own partner, take your time. Learn about the world, learn about them, learn about their culture, learn about the dark side of their personality. Allow their shadow to come through as you're dating to see, okay, this is some of the shit I have to deal with. Because there are no perfect people. You're just gonna have to deal with different types of shit. Some people like horse manure, some people like cow manure, some people rather clean dog shit, some people rather clean bullshit. And so, what kind of shit are you ready to deal with? That's all I'm gonna ask you. And it's falling in love is transcending enough that you're not gonna see that shit for a long time, but I can't guarantee that it's gonna be forever. Saying that, you know, you probably want to live your experience, live your life. So, my recommendation, if you're going in to fall in love with a girl, don't lose your friends. Don't lose your acquaintances. Don't fuck up your business as you're there. You know, quite often what she's gonna try to do, if she's insecure, which is most women, is try to put you away from friends, because if you're out with friends, out with your single buddies, there's more opportunity for you to cheat, because if there's five of you, five of girls, you all go to hotels and there's more opportunity for you to cheat. She doesn't want that, right? And she'll try to guard you from that, get you away from them. And once you stop hanging out with your friends, you're more vulnerable to all of that, and then you're more vulnerable to manipulation and bullshit, because you don't discuss what's happening in your relationship with your friends. You become isolated, and then if she breaks up with you, you're completely fucked. You have no support system, and then you go back to your friends, and quite often they'll accept you, but they'll be like, you know, now you're back like a dog, you know. So stay in touch with your friends. Keep making new friends. Have a social circle, so then you have something to fall back on in case this shit happens, because you will never know. A lot of men going through divorce, they didn't see it coming. They were so hypnotized, so in love, so enamored. And women lie when they're about to break up with you. They plan a breakup for a good 3 to 6 months. They plan a divorce maybe for a year. They plan everything so they're on a clean exit, you know? They make sure everything's ready. They make sure that the lawyers are set up, the friends are set up, or another guy is on the line of you, ideally, you know? Monkeys grab the branch first before letting go of the other one, right? So woman plans it, and then it comes sudden. You know, they still make sex to you and everything. You know, quite often you will see actually they will enjoy sex more as she's about to break up with you, because she's distancing her emotions for you, and so you become more of a stranger. And sex is more exciting with somebody who's a stranger rather than somebody they're common with. If you're too close, there's too much trust. Sex isn't as exciting, unless you're purely in love and that kind of feeling, like in love sex, which it doesn't last. So quite often she would fall out of love and start distancing herself, and then that would happen. So there's all these things that I don't want to prepare you for, but I think it's really something you should consider and be very conscious and aware of. And add the practice of meditation and journaling, some sort of therapy or counseling or some shadow work or some sort of thing that keeps you grounded in the absolute. And then also something, as in absolute, as in the absolute reality, the divine reality. Have something that grounds you in divine reality first. And then also have something that grounds you in social reality, right? Friends, buddies, some sort of a way to get friends. If you're very confident like me, you travel a lot, you can just make new friends on the spot. It doesn't matter, that we don't need to be best friends. If we want to complain about being heartbroken, we just go out together, chat to a couple chicks, relax, have a laugh, chat. I made a lot of friends traveling, especially on Bali. Beautiful place. Some of my best friends are in Bali. Like, feels like childhood friends. And ground yourself in the real world, as in financially, in the sense of have something going for you that has a momentum that more likely is going to pull you into taking action rather than you completely breaking it. Oh look, I've never seen that type of animal before. Or possum. Anyway, Animal Planet. And so yeah, have something going for you. Have something grounding in you in conscious divine reality. So have something grounding you in social reality, and have something grounding you in material reality, right? A job, a business, or so there's a strong momentum. So you don't fuck these things up for a woman, and in this way, your relationship with her is going to be a lot better, and also you're a lot easier to move around and stuff. And don't fuck up your skills with women. Like, if you want to be a loyal husband, don't cheat or anything, but if you stay sharp, she might never leave. If you stay very sharp with your social skills and she sees a lot of women around you, she might never leave because she knows that there's going to be someone jumping in there, and she doesn't want that because she hates you so much. So she'll make sure that you suffer with her rather than that. So yeah, there's a lot more I can say on that topic, but I think I'm going to end it here. I wish you a beautiful life, and if you do fall in love, enjoy the ride. And if you're falling in love, out of love, or you're heartbroken, or you've been broken up with or divorced, I wish you all the best, and I do have videos on that topic, so do watch them. Have a beautiful life. Bye-bye.